Hey, Sean, multicam clips in Final Cut Pro have quickly become like my favorite thing in the software. And if you're not a Final Cut Pro user, you should try it. There's this stigma about it where like it's this elementary dumbed down software. It's super powerful, it's super intuitive. It's just a great thoughtful piece of software, which isn't hung up on old traditions, which are just traditions because that's how they've been. They rethought a lot of great things. And multicam clips and how they do it is one of those things. And I want to walk through how I use them and why I use them when I only shoot with one camera. So as an example, this is a recent video I shot about a little tour of my studio, which I shot technically with two cameras, but I made it three. And let me show you how I did this. So here is my clip from the same camera that I'm talking to now. And this is just a single clip in 4K. I'm going to right click on it and select new multicam clip. And it's going to bring up a whole dialog here, but I'm going to change a couple things. First of all, I'm going to name it Studio Sync. Just for my own sake, I name all of my multicam files, all of those clips, I end with the word sync. I'm going to put in the Studio Tour event. Angle assembly, if you have multiple takes that you're putting into one multicam clip, this can be helpful if you name all of your clips from your cameras individually in the inspector. For me, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to go assemble them by clips, but I'm going to change my video to 1080. So this multicam clip is going to be 1080p. And even though the clip that I'm putting into it, the only footage in it will be in 4K, but I'm going to put it in 1080, and I'll show you why. So it's going to churn there for a second. Doesn't take long to sync it because nothing's in it. So if we look here inside the multicam clip, we have this one file, and that's it. This one track, this one video. But I'm going to click this little drop down and click Add Angle. And now I have this empty angle. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy, just with your standard Control-C. Then I'm going to enable the next angle and paste it. So I have the same clip twice here. But with this bottom clip, I'm going to do the thing that I do. I'm going to pull up my inspector. And I'm going to just zoom in on this clip. And since it's 1080, I can do that without losing any resolution. And I'm going to reframe myself a little bit so that as I go from the two, my eyes don't chase around too much. I'm actually going to move my eyes down just a little bit. Whoops, that's sideways. A little bit more. So it's a pretty natural crop in. There we go. So now I have two camera angles. And if I create a project, and we'll call this multicam testing. I'm going to want this to be 1080p, so that's fine. You can see when I add this and open up, close my inspector, and open up my multicam viewer, I have these two angles as though they were two cameras. And the great thing about a multicam clip, rather than just like editing this in a standard timeline and then applying a zoom to every other clip, I can come through here, and by pressing the 1 and 2 keys on my keyboard, I can switch the video. So I can just press 2 here, and it's going to switch to that angle. Then I can press 1, and I'm just looking at the waveforms down here, and I can say, well, this section I want to be close to me. Then we'll cut back out, in, out. And the nice thing about doing this as a multicam clip is at any point I can double-click this and come right back in. And if I wanted to add effects or change anything, if I wanted to color this or change the audio, I could do that really, really simply and do it once inside the multicam clip, and it affects everything out there in the timeline. And so, for example, if we come here and let's just say we turn this black and white, we'll just turn our saturation all the way down. Now out here, anytime we do that crop in, you can see it updates to the black and white. So any changes that I make inside the multicam are being affected out here in the project. And the other nice thing, and I realized this, I guess I had always assumed it, but I didn't realize how handy it would be until I was making a video and I was covering up a mistake, and I just released a video about this and masking something out. But here within, and I'll just reset that saturation. Here I can take one of these clips. I'm inside the multicam clip, but I can create a new compound clip. I can come into this compound clip, and I can make edits. I can add things on top of it. If I want this wide to have a lower third on it the whole time, as a bad example, I can add this, and then you can see that when I come out here, anytime I cut to that wide angle, it has those words on it. So you can do all these nests and corrections and things within the multicam clip and still have the ability to quickly switch between those two. And you can, with that switcher, you can also switch your audio. So if you sync up your audio as a separate file, you can switch between not only the same camera and cropping different ways into the clip, but also actual different footage from different cameras. And when you're in that multicam, anything else you add, you can come here and and it'll light up, but you can say sync angle to monitoring angle. And your monitoring angle is the one that has the gray bar on it, which you change by clicking the little monitor icon on the top of either of these. But if you add other angles, you can add clips to them and then just click that sync to monitoring angle, and it'll use the audio to sync up to the main angle that you have selected. So like when I edited the studio tour, I had my iPhone and I just did a 3, 2, 1 clap and was able to put that onto a separate track, say sync to the monitoring angle, and then it found the audio where it synced up and it synced it up to that angle. So multicam clips are really, really handy, especially working with 4K footage and trying to make 2 camera angles out of it. By making a multicam clip, you can save yourself a bunch of time and a bunch of work. So that's all I got. I hope that's helpful. Mess with it, see what you like. Thanks for watching. See you later.